March 15th, feeling a part of. The get togethers after our meetings are good opportunities to share things that we didn't get to discuss during the meeting. Basic text, page 98. Active addiction set us apart from society, isolating us. Fear was at the core of that alienation. We believed that if we let others get to know us, they would only find out how terribly flawed we were. Rejection would be only a short step away. When we come to our first NA meeting, we are usually impressed by the familiarity and friendliness we see other recovering addicts share. We too can quickly become a part of this fellowship if we allow ourselves to. One way to start is by tagging along to a local coffee shop after the meeting. At these gatherings, we can let down the walls that separate us from others and discover things about ourselves and other NA members. One-on-one, we can sometimes disclose things that we may be reluctant to share at the group level. We learn to make small talk at many of these late-night gatherings and forge deep, strong friendships as well. With our newfound friends in NA, we no longer have to live lives of isolation. We can become a part of a greater whole, the Fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous. Just for today, I will break free of isolation. I will strive to feel a part of the NA Fellowship. I'm Herb the Addictaholic. This is just for today. And, oftentimes we go to meetings and meeting's over. All right, everybody's gone. Everyone, cars gone, pulling out of the parking lots and, doors shuts. And occasionally we meet a couple people that we end up in a conversation that goes, 10 or 20 minutes past the meeting. But oftentimes, people are itching to get away from that conversation. Not because the conversation is bad, it's quite the opposite, but because we're built into this program of, I have to get home to do such and such, or I have these other things that are pending, or, even if it's a Saturday and the meeting's at 7, ends at 8, you have no other plans to go out and party or whatever. You're just going to go home and watch Netflix or play a video game, or maybe just go hang out with your spouse or your intimate relationship, whatever. There's really no real plan, but I got to get home. I got homework to do maybe, or whatever, but we never make time for fellowship. It's very rare that I've seen that. But when it happens, it's great. When it happens, it's phenomenal, and it does strengthen the bonds, and it does build these beautiful relationships of people that understand each other from a perspective that nobody else gets, and I wish there was set aside time for fellowship. A lot of times if it's an hour and a half meeting and there's a 10-minute smoke break, I see more happen in that smoke break sometimes than the actual meeting, because people get to share and bounce off each other, and there's a little bit more interaction, so that's what these conventions are for. That's what, pancake breakfast, NA pancake breakfast, go to those events, don't pass them up. They sound like, oh, I don't want to go to a NA punk show. Who knows these bands? Well, it's not always about just the bands, but it's about being with other NA members and spending some time getting, some bonding going on, so that when you do go to the meetings with these people, they're family, sometimes if you're always bouncing out of the meeting right after it's over, we don't develop real relationships with those people, so I take on the task sometimes to make it a point to hang out with somebody from a meeting, outside of a meeting, and strengthen those relationships. So, I'd suggest maybe try it too and see where it goes. You never know. Thank you guys for coming out. Hope to see you tomorrow. Keep coming back. It works if you work it.